Hello and welcome. This is Alchemist X, and this is the weekly update for March 4th. So I wanted to give a couple updates before jumping into the content. The first and foremost, as you can see from this Genesis content here, which I was previously locked out of, I am able to play the game again. So the auto repeat bug has been fixed. As far as I know, it's been fixed for everyone else that it's experienced it, or everyone else that was least vocal about it. So good on Gumi for that. However, they have not issued any compensation nor given any real indication of when or what that is going to be. And the longer it goes and the quieter it goes, the more skeptical of that I become. I am not convinced at this point that it's going to be satisfactory. So I'm definitely at the very least going to spend March as a free-to-play player, and potentially longer depending on, one, how good the compensation is, and then two, how buggy the game is. It's definitely possible for them to get back into my good graces, but it'll take some effort on Gumi's part. However, this game is still fun to play regardless, especially because I have a lot of units built up. Like, if you are like starting out new and also free to play, it's pretty dang uphill, but that's okay. If you're brand new, there's always re-rolling. So I'm going to be keeping that in mind when I do the banner overview. And thus, I'm probably just not going to talk about the paid banners. They also kind of suck anyway, at least this week. So kind of solves two problems with one blow there. But other than that, there's some potentially good stuff for people this week. So I definitely do want to talk about it. So mainly that Phantom of the Kill is back for another rerun. They call it a collab. It's really more just of a recurring event because it is a Gumi property. Therefore, they are not subject to the same restrictions. And because of that, all of the units, well, at least the units that are good, they can make very, very good uses of your resources potentially, because there's just an unwritten guarantee that they're going to keep getting upgraded. So the new one this week is going to be Logistilla, who is a fire magic unit. They've had kind of a weird release schedule lately. I think they've maybe overdone fire a little bit, especially relative to POTK, because Ragnarok was like a big one. And speaking of Ragnarok, she is also rerunning. So she is a very sought after unit, probably an excellent unit to have if you're relatively new and you have a lot of content that you're trying to get through, like main story stuff, Sacred Stone memories, the various events and job pluses. She's just very, very mobile and very, very strong. Gets an extra turn when she kills stuff with her skills. So just an excellent, just all around content clearer. So between those two units, there definitely could be a lot of people that could benefit from that. So that's all I got to say on this. So let's jump into the content proper. First and foremost, let's take a look at the challenge boards, because there are two interesting ones. The first one is for Logistilla shards, which is nice. In addition to the shard quest, this is great combined with the otherworldly shards if you happen to be interested in Logistilla, because that can help you out with enlightenment quite a bit. There's also a Return of the Dark Tearfing one. So I don't know how many people she's going to be really useful for, but if you're like me and you had her raised already, just because I got so many shards of her that it seemed like a waste not to enlighten her. And at the time I had no good limited light units, so that's not a problem anymore. But at the time it worked, and she can be handy as an unkillable tank. I just wouldn't waste too many precious resources on her, like otherworldly enlightenment shards. So, as far as POTK events go, every time a new character comes out, there's always going to be an EX stage that has their free gear. So you just, and job equips if you have the patience to farm those. I usually just use the otherworldly. Like when Dark Masamune came out, I did the level, got like 8 drops. I was like, nope. There's also, however, a hell map that is running as well with some decent rewards, including some otherworldly enlightenment shards. I thought this level was actually kind of fun, and then something kind of funny happened. I'll see if I can find my clear for it. I've got 2 of them on there, because like the first time I did it, I played on manual. I constructed a team just like very, very carefully. One shot the coffin enemy, and then like use magic res down and overclocking to one shot the guy that applies the map's massive buff. Just like carefully planned everything out, used like Minerva's shields and her buffs. And so yeah, that was fun. But you could also just auto solo it with Oct too, because that's who needs strategy when you have Oct. So definitely, it was nice. Maybe it's just being locked out of the game for 2 weeks, but I've definitely been enjoying every map that I've been playing. There's also some stuff that is gonna run for the rest of this week, like Carla's level. If your Carla's fully enlightened, you should be good to do that. Get her job plus. I haven't really gotten a chance to use her post job plus, but it does seem like it's pretty nice. Having a forced target unit is always good. And then Genesis is running for another few days as well. Hope I'm not forgetting anything important, but that's mostly the big stuff. And then usually Phantom of the Kill involves just running a lot of the same maps over and over again to get the various extra dailies. Oh, right. Let's see if I've got it memorized. So if you want to do it efficiently, you can, in multiplayer, run the Artemis and Longinus level, and then run it again in single player, and then that will get your soldiers and your armored dudes. If you have a map clearing unit, you can do, for Who the Princess Weeps 5, do 1 turn, kill the puppets, then you're good there. Raise a unit's skill, and then the rest of the daily should happen organically. So it's a longer list, but it looks worse than it is because there's a lot of duplicates in the list. Okay, I think that is enough about the content. Let's go ahead and take a look at the banners. And here we are at the banners. So I'm going to go ahead and skip the paid banners for reasons I have listed earlier. So I want to say just up front, I think if you want to get Logistilla, Ragnarok, or one of the POTK mementos, then there might be some stuff for you this week and potentially next week. Otherwise, I think for most people, it's going to be an easy skip. Because what we know this week, or not week, this month, is Credo, Izayui are getting job pluses with limited mementos for White Day. And then Shayna and Shahaya are also going to get limited mementos. Shayna getting a job plus. And then Bashini is also going to get his next limited memento with his class change. So if you want to get one of those things, definitely better off to save. And then there's also whatever they didn't list, because they usually leave something out. Sometimes that's a collab. Well, no, not sometimes. That has been a collab before. Or just another event, sometimes global. They usually, I think it's a little too soon for the next part of Genesis. That's who I'm definitely want to get next, is the unit Shahel. Because I need a water support more than I need a water damager. So those are just some things to consider before pulling this week. So I would just skip right ahead to the 9 steps, because everything else before that I don't think is worth your time. And if you want to get Logistilla or Ragnarok, potentially could be very, very good. I think the 9 step is a good way to go, unless you've already been doing the Louis Shop RNG and you have the stomach for that. Otherwise, I like the 9 step, because then that way if you pull them early, great. And or if you pull them at step 8, then you could just take that extra step and get another 100 shards. So this format I definitely think is cool. There's one where you can choose 3 POTK units that are up to the Dark Princesses plus Almace. And if you get duplicates, you get 150 shards. And one of them is guaranteed. I don't know though. I don't think that it's going to be worth it for most people. Some of these units like Dark Levitain and Dark Tearfiend have been given away for free. If I was going to do it, maybe Dark Masamune, Dark Longinus, and Dark Freykugel, but I don't think any of them are really essential at this point. But, if you really, really want to have them, it's a good way to get them. And then we've got the various mementos. So looking at Logistilla's, I would say her memento is very nice. You can get a lot of extra damage on it because a bunch of things like M attack modifier, max limit break bonus is 10 fire, all attack up. It gives crit, so it gives her everything she wants to do more damage. But other than that, I didn't see much else. Nothing that really gets my attention with memento, like skill use +1, sometimes move +1, range +1, that kind of thing. Buff duration or debuff duration, definitely. Nothing like that. So while it seems very nice to have, I wouldn't look at it the same way as one of the ones I listed. That being said, though, because these banners are around for 2 weeks and this applies to all of them, you could use one discount ticket now and then use another one next week and then go the rest of it. So you could pick one of these up pretty inexpensively if that is something that you would like to get. And for some of them, definitely could be pretty good. Ragnarok, this is good. Hercule and Minerva is a 2-for-1 if you have both of them. Tiferet really benefits from her memento. I still use her a decent amount, especially just, she can blow stuff away from very far away. I don't have Failnaught or Cassius, and Lisa Naught's considered to not need hers, but I got it anyway just because she's really strong and really fun to use. And then everything else is an older banner. So that's all I've got to say for this week. I'm glad to be playing the game again, but definitely Gumi is still on notice, so hopefully that will improve. And if any of you are going for POTK stuff, I wish you good luck, and I will see you all next time.